You know that end of year bonus? For a lot of us, it's a nice little surprise, right? A thank you from the boss. But what if I told you it wasn't just a gift? In Nepal, that annual bonus is often a legal right, and it's governed by a very specific set of rules. So today, we're going to break down exactly what the law says so you know precisely where you stand.
So let's just pause on that for a second. Think about the last bonus you got. Was it just a kind gesture, something extra for a job well done? Or was it something your employer was actually required by law to give you? The answer to that question is a huge deal, and it's all laid out for us. And here it is. The answer lies in the Bonus Act of 1974. You should think of this as the official rulebook. This is the document that turns a bonus from a hopeful maybe into a structured legal right. It's all about creating a level playing field for both employees and the companies they work for. Okay, so if a bonus is a right, where does the money for it actually come from? I mean, it doesn't just appear out of thin air, right? Well, it comes from a specific fund that profitable companies are legally required to create. And this, right here, is the core principle of the entire Act. Under Section 5, this is not optional. If a company ends its financial year with a net profit, the money left over after all the bills are paid, it has a clear legal duty to set aside a piece of that profit just for employee bonuses. That brings us to the most obvious question, right? How much are we talking about? Is it 1%? 5%? 20%? The law is not vague about this at all. It gives a very, very specific number. And there it is. The magic number is 10%. Section 5, subsection 1 is crystal clear. A profitable company has to allocate 10% of its net profit from that fiscal year to create the employee bonus pool. That's the total pot of money that's going to be distributed. All right, so a 10% bonus pool exists. That leads us to the most important question for any employee, which is, do I qualify for a share? Well, the Act doesn't leave this to chance. It lays out a really clear eligibility checklist. So the first hurdle is all about time. According to Section 6, you need to have worked for at least half of the total working days in a fiscal year. But, and this is where the law shows some real fairness, it's not just about the days you were physically at your desk. Time you took as paid leave, or say time you spent recovering from a work-related injury, that still counts towards that half-year requirement. Now, while most people will be eligible, it's not a complete free-for-all. Section 8 of the Act does point out certain actions that can get you disqualified from receiving your bonus for that year. And we're talking about serious misconduct here, things like being dismissed for theft, damaging company property, or participating in an illegal strike. Okay, so let's say you've cleared the eligibility check, the company is profitable. Now we get to the exciting part. How is your individual bonus actually calculated? The law provides a pretty specific framework for doing the math. At its heart, the principle is all about proportionality. Your bonus is directly tied to how much you earn. Think of it this way. They take that total 10% bonus pool and divide it by the total annual salary of everyone who's eligible. That gives a percentage. Your personal bonus is that percentage applied to your annual salary. So basically, the higher your salary, the larger your slice of the pie. But there are some really important limits. Section 7 puts a ceiling, or a cap, on how much any one person can get, and it's tiered by salary. So if you earn up to 5,000 rupees a month, your bonus can't be more than 6 months' worth of your salary. As salaries go up, that cap actually gets lower. It's a key feature designed to make sure things are fair and to stop a few top earners from taking up the whole bonus pool. And the law has another clever little detail to keep things fair. It stops a pay raise from accidentally giving you a smaller bonus. The Act guarantees that the absolute minimum bonus for someone in a higher salary bracket can't be less than the maximum bonus for the bracket right below it. It's a small rule, but it closes a potentially unfair loophole. So we've covered who gets a bonus and how it's calculated. But what about the real-world practicalities? Let's get into the fine print, the deadlines for when you get paid, and maybe most importantly, what you can do if there's a disagreement. The Act is super specific about when you should get that money. According to Section 9, a company has to distribute the bonus within 8 months after the fiscal year ends. Now, if there's a really good reason for a delay, the company can ask the Labor Office for an extension, but only for up to 3 more months. But what if you and your employer just don't see eye to eye on the bonus? Well, Section 16 outlines a really clear, structured path to sort things out.
The very first step is always negotiation, with the labor office acting as a kind of mediator. If that doesn't work, the labor office will investigate and make a formal decision. And if either side is still unhappy, they've got 35 days to make a final appeal to the labor court.
So what happens if, after all the bonuses are paid out, there's still money left in that 10% pool? It doesn't just go back into the company's bank account. Section 13 says that this extra money has to be reinvested directly into employee welfare. 70% of it goes to the company's own welfare fund, and the other 30% goes into a national fund. It makes sure that those profits are truly recycled for the benefit of workers.
Okay, we've gone through all the details, the percentages, the timelines, the disputes, but let's just pull back for a second and look at the big picture. What's the ultimate goal of this whole legal framework? Why does this act truly matter? This quote from the Act's own preamble, or its introduction, it really says it all. The whole purpose is to create a formal, predictable, and fair legal system for sharing profits. It completely transforms the bonus from some unpredictable gift into a recognized part of the deal between a profitable company and its employees. So let's just quickly put it all together. The biggest takeaway is this. In Nepal, if you work for a profitable company, your bonus isn't just a gift, it's a legal right. It's funded by a mandatory 10% of net profits. Your eligibility is based on a simple time worked requirement. And the whole system, from the caps ensuring fair distribution to the formal dispute process, is designed to bring order and fairness to what used to be a very uncertain process.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We've seen the rules, the percentages, and all the safety nets. But in the real world, do you think these provisions really create a system that feels truly fair and balanced for every employee in every type of business out there? It's definitely a question worth thinking about. Thanks for tuning in.